them get engaged with ocean literacy and become ocean literate citizens. We also wanted to think about how we can promote enthusiasm within the classroom for teachers and students to teach about and learn about the ocean. And what if games could teach us about ocean science? We all know too, I know there are some other classroom teachers in the audience, it's not always easy as a classroom teacher to address ocean literacy, as important as it is. For many students and for many teachers, the ocean feels distant, it feels a little abstract. I know even in all the years I've taught in coastal Maine, many of my students really don't know a whole lot about the ocean. I taught for a year in Eleuthera, Bahamas. Most of my students had very little knowledge. Many of them didn't know how to swim. And so getting kids connected is such an important task. We also tend to teach subjects in silos. And so even though ocean literacy is based not just on ocean science itself, you know, there are easy connections to biology, to chemistry, to physics, but also to the social sciences and to geography. And so how can we broach all of that? It's difficult often for children to visualize the scale and the dynamics of the ocean. They don't think about the fact that the ocean is sort of one thing. They think about these discrete regions in the world, so getting kids to understand that. Many children have few hands-on immersive opportunities when it comes to ocean science. And then of course we talk about this sort of siloed curriculum and the time crunch that all teachers seem to be under. We're so busy with all of the things that we're expected to teach. Where do we fit it in? So as we were thinking about all of these challenges, we thought about the fact that many students now have one-to-one device programs, especially here in the state of Maine. We're very fortunate to have those programs. And there has been a shift, particularly with the pandemic, to digital learning. So that model of sort of hybrid and remote learning, in-person and remote learning, we were thinking about that as we were thinking about developing World Ocean Explorer. And the fact that multimedia integration is such an important part of education these days. So as Explorer was being first developed, there were certain things that we had in mind. It of course needed to be educational and interactive. It is three-dimensional, and I'll show that to you shortly. And it's free. So it's a free web-based opportunity. It doesn't involve an app or downloading anything. And it hits on the ocean literacy principles, which is great, as well as many of the NGSS and Common Core standards. It's fun, it's dynamic, and now at this point, it has received lots of exciting awards and lots of exciting attention, including from Unity, which is the gaming engine that the program uses. So if you're interested in knowing more about the technical requirements, it is web-based, so you don't need, as I said, to download anything. There aren't any apps. It's on a website. It works best on desktops or laptops or Chromebooks. It doesn't work on touchscreens, so it's designed for a mouse and a keyboard. You ideally should use Google Chrome. You need at least 4 gigabytes of RAM, or ideally 8 or more. And there is browser caching, so if you use the platform once and you revisit it, those things don't take quite as long to upload. You also need a stable internet connection, particularly to interact with the immersive 3D environments, which I'll show you in just a moment. This is a video which will sort of walk you through what the platform looks like. And right now we have one module completed about the deep sea, which is really cool. So it is a game, and it's in first-person perspective. So this is a video showing what it would look like for someone to be navigating through. So I'll just let you watch and look. So this is sort of the outside of the aquarium and then the exhibit area. Students can walk through and stop where they want to and interact with the displays that they choose to. Or if you're a classroom teacher, you can set up specific tasks. We've used it with all ages, and I'll talk more about that. The displays are interactive, so kids can click on and manipulate and read certain passages or hear audio recordings about them. There are also some videos embedded from Schmidt Ocean Institute. So all of the content and materials for this module came from Schmidt. There's interactive geospatial data, so there are lots of things that students can manipulate to explore. And then these immersive marine environments, including this whale fall, which has a species inventory checklist. So as students interact with different species, it checks them off. And again, you can manipulate the organisms, flip them around, look at them from different angles. There's sort of a bullseye that lights up green. If something is interactive, then you can click on it and play with it, which kids love. And then there are also some embedded learning assessments. So after kids visit certain exhibits, there are drag and drop options to sort of test and quiz themselves on what they've seen. And again, some of these interactive videos and interactive graphics, which make it very engaging. Here's the drag and drop option again. Much more exciting than a textbook. So that gives you an idea of what it looks like. As we have been developing Explorer, it's been really important for us to build with teachers and students, not just for them. So as we've been going through the construction sort of phase of World Ocean Explorer, we've done a lot of different things, including going to conferences like this one. My role was developed in 2024. Since I'm a classroom teacher, I have lots of connections to actual other teachers. So I have developed cohorts of teachers, which I'll also speak about shortly, because we really want that teacher buy-in. We really want teachers to get this in their hands, this free resource, and get it out to students and give us feedback. So here's where we've gone so far. It all started out in Little Blue Hill, Maine. I tested it out with some of my students, and from there connected with a couple of other teachers that I knew. One in Idaho, an island off the coast of Maine that actually has a one-room schoolhouse, and another teacher I knew from a school where I once taught in Eleuthera in the Bahamas. So those were sort of our pilot teachers. And then from there, I was able to recruit all of these folks from different parts of the world, which has been very exciting. So all of these people have used World Ocean Explorer with their students in their classrooms and provided us with really valuable feedback. So to date, we've reached 14 countries and 30 teachers, 45 classrooms, and about 1,000 students. We hope to keep reaching out, like I said, and growing these numbers exponentially. So if you are interested or know anybody who might be, please make sure you get my contact information. These are pictures that were so gratifying for us to receive of students actually interacting with Explorer in their classrooms from all around the world. So this has been really wonderful for us. The nice thing about Explorer, well, there are many nice things, but in addition to being free and being web-based, there are many ways you can use it. So depending on technology limitations, if you have just one laptop and a projector, you can have a student sort of lead activities and drive their way through the aquarium or take turns. You can also use it for more teacher-guided learning, particularly with younger students. Or ideally, if you have one-to-one technology, you can do self-directed learning, where you can structure activities and have students go through the platform or just explore on their own. I'm a very hands-on kind of teacher, so I've used Explorer to encourage kids to develop knowledge and then show their knowledge through artwork and sort of STEAM kinds of activities. So these are some of the activities that I've developed, which are on the website. If you're interested, you can see them there. And it was a nice way for kids to sort of demonstrate what they had learned from their visits to World Ocean Explorer. We've had a great deal of positive feedback. So here are a couple of quotes from two teachers, and I won't read them to you, but I'll just summarize. So the first is from a gentleman named Tim Dwyer, who teaches at Friday Harbor High School in the San Juan Islands off the coast of Washington State. He's also a National Ocean Science Bowl coach, and he said his kids loved it, that they were very excited about it, and that he was particularly excited about imagining how we could incorporate data into Explorer in ways that kids could manipulate it. So he gave us several really good suggestions, including fish transects on scuba or with a submersible, chemical analysis of hydrothermal vents and sea surface wind, wave height calculations, and more. And so he was really a wonderful teacher to collaborate with. We also had great feedback from a teacher in a small rural school in North Carolina who told us that many of these topics hit things that she was trying to teach through NGSS standards, but in a way that they probably wouldn't have been exposed to. So she was really excited about that opportunity for these students to learn about ecosystems and organisms that they might otherwise not know about. We've also had really wonderful feedback from students. So we had a large group of teachers, actually 25 teachers from Mauritius, which is an island nation off the east coast of Africa, and they were very enthusiastic, as were their students. So a high school student from Mauritius told us that she found the whale fall and the hydrothermal vent so interesting, and that she thought it was cool to learn about some of the unusual organisms that she hadn't heard about, that she didn't know about in other aspects of ocean science. A middle school student from State College, Pennsylvania, again said the site was cool, it was interactive and entertaining, and they particularly liked that you could interact with different organisms and manipulate them to learn about them. There's a little video of students here embedded that I'll play for you because you can hear their enthusiasm.
What's scared to death? I don't know. It's called it's core business. Just tap the entire time. How was that a cuttlefish? That does not look like a cuttlefish. That's really ocean. Okay, what are you doing? How did you do that? Oh, you can just do it. I wouldn't want it in real life. It's scary.
Giant isopod.
It actually like moves. It's pretty cool to see it like in action, right? And then you can stop and flip it around.
But someone says he's all blue. Hey, he has whiskers.
We've been also so excited to receive some other recognition. So we've had several global endorsements that you can see listed here, including some from the UN, the United States Blue Schools, the European Blue Schools, and more. And we've also been so fortunate to receive a number of awards and prizes, including the Unity for Humanity Social Impact Prize, the Serious Play Gold Medal for Excellence Award, and the Platinum Marcom Award. So it's teacher vetted, and we've gotten lots of great feedback and lots of positive recognition, and we just want to share it with anybody who's willing and able to use it with kids. So we do have many future plans. More modules are under construction, more modules are coming. We will have some ROV simulations, which will allow kids to manipulate some of the data that I mentioned earlier. And we want to continue sort of gamifying what's there, so having kids go through exhibits and perhaps receiving badges for completing certain levels or for completing certain things, as well as more data sets, which I mentioned. And this is a video to give you an idea of what's coming. I can't full screen it. So students would actually pilot submersibles in order to collect data. They'd have opportunities to interact with shipwrecks. Here's a hydrothermal vent, which they'd have opportunities to interact with different chemical aspects and different pieces of data. So the Nexus is currently in beta testing, and if you have questions about that, I'll let Bjorn take them for sure. But there are a lot of other modules coming, which will be listed here shortly, including polar region science at sea, maritime work, and many others. So we're really planning to expand out what's already there. So the science at sea module will be sort of a history of marine science, and then tropical marine ecosystems with a heavy focus on coral reefs. Maritime work. Many teachers have told us that they really are excited about that module and allowing kids to see opportunities for jobs on the ocean. Polar regions. So overall, just in summary, we know in this room why the ocean is important, and we know that it's important to educate students about it. The way that World Ocean Explorer delivers the ocean literacy principles and helps get that message across to students is through this free immersive website and accessible games. I find that students are able to pick up on how to use the platform very quickly, generally quicker than teachers can, including myself. It's for teachers, students, and global classrooms. We do also have an exhibit now at the Shaw Institute, which is a small marine science museum in Blue Hill, Maine, with a touch tank. And when you walk in, we do have an explorer station there that's received a lot of positive attention. We're hoping to continue to build that out in aquariums and museums around the world, and have started in that direction. We really would love to have you as a partner and collaborator. So if you're a teacher or you know one, if you work in an aquarium or a museum and this seems like something you're interested in learning more about, please reach out. Play is the highest form of research, said Einstein. And we will be having more teacher cohorts. So to date, we've had 3. There is a small stipend involved, and the expectation is that the teacher will use the website with students and provide feedback and photos if possible. Simple requirements, but our hope is to get people to bite the hook and see what a great tool this is and use it with kids. So if that interests you, please email me, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And that's all I have for now. And we're doing questions at the end.